Fair use, YouTube. What's good? Wake up, niggas. Oh, yeah. I'm waiting on this. This is going to be a 2-part video right here, man. I gotta get in on this. I gotta get in on this. And the only reason I gotta get in on it is because I saw some bullshit. You guys know I like finding bullshit. I'm a bullshit hunter. All right. So there's this lady, right? And apparently she went on 2 prominent podcasters' shows. Which I think was a collective effort. You got Nick Cannon and Cam Newton, right? So here's my thing. Why? I don't know why these niggas love thinking that these black chicks like them, bro. Like, yo. I'm gonna be a little raw here because I purposely made me a drink so I could unwind and really dig into this situation here. This is the female I'm talking about. Okay? Right here. Pretty motherfucker, right? You gotta watch them pretty niggas. I'm telling you. Now, she goes by the title and name Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. All right. She's a psychology. She hails herself as a psychology expert and a life coach. Okay. She's wrote a book, of course. All right. She's got some shit going on. She's got her name in and around the NAACP. She says she's the president of the NAACP. She says she's the founder of Dr. Bryant Institute, which is just a place where you go and she teaches you how to be a life coach. She shows you how to get you certified in becoming a life coach. I should be a fucking life coach, okay? So listen, B. They not your friends, man. I don't know why niggas be doing this shit, bro. They're not your friends. They don't even like you, bro. Highly educated women. My ex-wife has 2 masters. My ex-girlfriend, she had her doctorate. Like you know, a lot of women are highly educated, and what I found out in each one of them, there was something missing. Especially when you get to a certain age, when they're young, you can't tell them shit. When that wall hit, my man, that's when shit gets different, bro. But still, there's a piece missing in the mind. I always say, the more book knowledge you have, the less room you got for fucking common sense. That's just what I say. That's my shit. All right. I'm gonna break them down into 2 parts since they had 2 parts themselves. Doesn't make sense for me to cram all of this information and things that I see into one video. So I'm going to do it one by one. We're going to start off with Nick Cannon. Before we start off with Nick Cannon, I want you to watch this. If you heard of Dr. T. Johnson, He is a professor and all of this other sturdy shit. I want you to hear what he says about this. Okay?
Play.
Fuck. Come on, man. Stop the bullshit.
Based on the basis of two premises. They were black and they were males. Well, three really, and they were heterosexual, or at least their crime was heterosexual, right? So we're talking explicitly about heterosexual black men being murdered on the basis of being heterosexual black men, right?
Now, this is just laying the foundation of what I'm going to hit you with, all right? This actually is not about what he was just talking about. I need you to follow me real quick. Just follow me real quick. Okay?
That's what anti-black misandry focuses on, this hatred.
Anti-black misandry
of black men and boys has been palpable. It's been there the entire time, but how much attention we actually give it is a whole nother question. So Black Male Studies offers that among a variety of other concepts to say the way we've done history, the way we've done critical analysis, theory, so on and so forth, is highly problematic. It's superficial, and it often does not include black men on terms beyond how they're framed in feminist contexts.
He's talking about femininity. He's talking about how society sees black men, right? Now we're talking about people of society who are in these institutions. In these institutions that our black women go to, they're feeding this hatred of black men into the psyche of these women, right? Okay? Just to bring you up to speed.
Right? So you have white society being the ultimate basis of racism, and in the feminist mind, black men double down on that to oppress black women.
Okay. You already know, in our history, we were not liked by our Caucasian brothers, right? That coupled with the feminist movement and black women latching onto that movement, they have this extra hate for their own men. You can look out into the fucking world and you can see that these black bras don't like men, don't like black men, excuse me. They will hail. This is no dig at my white brothers. This platform is a real platform. You feel me? This is for white, black, Asian, whatever. I don't come banging down on any race. We just talk real shit, right? We know black white people treated black people like shit. Now what happened is somehow the mind frame of the white racists, because I don't think all white people are racist, but the mindset of the white racists has gotten into the mindset of the black woman. You understand? They had teachers, professors teaching white racist ideology to black women. You're about to hear about it right now. Check this out.
Women that much more. Black Male Studies is saying no, actually, that stereotype of black men doubling down and being these aggressive patriarchal oppressors is a myth. It's a myth. And in many respects, and again, shout out to Tommy Curry, he did a lot of the work on this himself. He actually looked at the scholars who published, the black female scholars who published these ideas, and he shows you where they pulled the ideas from, not just where they got the ideas, where they cited the ideas. Like in the book, like Bell Hooks' works and so on, they're citing, well, Bell Hooks is not known for citing, but other black feminist scholars who are actually citing racist white scholarship.
You hear this? So a lot of women that go to college and they got these degrees and they come out thinking that they're fucking better than you. They come out thinking they could break you down and tell you who the fuck you are. Everything you do is fucking wrong. They know why. They take over your conversation. All of that shit. Everything you hate about a fucking knucklehead chick when you talking to her, this is where she got it from, dog. Then if you couple that with her growing up without a father, or her growing up where her mother didn't like her father and put a barrier there, it's just like a triple threat, bro. All of these bros that say, "Oh, he has to make more than me," everything is about. Listen, excuse me. Leave these motherfuckers alone. All right, let them sink, man. That is the only way people fucking learn. People don't learn from kindness and yeah, please don't do that again. People don't learn through that. I know this. You guys know my fucking history, right? People don't. People respect violence. Human beings, as as a freaking uh as a fucking human being, we all just respect violence. What am I saying? You're probably saying, "Oh, this nigga Big West is crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about." Who has the control of the planet? Who has the biggest army? Who's got the biggest army? Who's got the biggest nuke? Who's got the fucking drones and all that? Yes, the world is ran by violence. People respect violence. Oh well, we're not going to fuck with them because if we do, the U.S. is going to send a missile over here. Or we're not going to fuck with them because if we do, Israel is going to such and such. It's actually what's going on right now. The Israel shit, the Russia and fucking Ukraine, bro, violence. They have to respect your violence. This is human nature. Uh, 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 Damunandi. Damn, I always forget this fucking word too. It is a phrase. Uh, hold on, I gotta get it. Lust for domination, right? Is in a Latin. It's hold on, because this shit. Ever since I read about this, I've loved it. All right, in Latin, libido dominandi. Libido dominandi. Okay, libido dominandi in Latin is basically translates as the lust for domination. Okay, it is the driving impulse of fallen man and his society of man. Lust for domination. That means no matter what goes on this planet, we will still fight. If every other race was gone but one, there was only one race, the motherfuckers would fight each other. If there was if all of the cliques were gone and there was just one clique left, one group left, one faction left, at some point they would all fight each other. It is in us as humans, lust for domination. Right? Yes, so violence is what man respects. Right? So when we talk about uh that portion of history being put into black women as they go through college, when they come out, that is what they think about you. I.e., Cynthia G, uh, that vested zealot. There was that other therapist who went on a rant. That over sexualized therapist that was on TikTok, and she went on a rant and she got fired. Her like these women do not like or respect black men. And if you notice, it is only that race of woman that is very outspoken and rude and nasty to their men. That's why I say women like this here, man, let them burn out, man. Let their flame burn out, dog. These women need to grow old, grow alone, and die out. And it's because their brain is infected. Their brain is infected. The video I showed you, was it last night? It might have been last night. I think we did 2 streams last night. Might have been last night. And when we saw those couples, those happy ass couples, man, buying their homes together and all of that great shit, right? Yeah. Those are the younger ladies who, you know, I have high hopes for. I got high hopes for them. You know? But let's get back to old boy real quick.
About black men. That's the basis for a lot of these ideas about black men being oppressive patriarchs that these women are getting in college. And so these colleges are mass manufacturing black women who are coming out with high degrees mixed with a great deal of misandry, and the two have become inseparable. And the outlook on men gets worse by the time these young women go through college, even if they haven't interacted with very many black men. I've witnessed that as well. And I get men reaching out to me all the time. But I've also had to sit on multiple dissertation committees because I have graduate students who are being threatened that they will not be able to finish their degree because they've decided to focus on black men, especially from a black male standpoint.
Wow.
But it's
wow. This just goes, you know, this is powerful. What I want you to take away from that is the fact that black women are going to these schools and they're coming out more misandrous than they went in, right? They're coming out with ideologies worse than about black men, worse than when they went in. Okay, so right now we're going to go over here, and I'm going to break this shit down for you. I'm going to dissect this shit. Okay, let's go.
I've never had more reverence for an individual in this setting, not only because she's truly a professional and kind of walks the walk and talks the talk, but she reads me, she puts me in my place and talks to me in a way.
Right there, you know, you're speaking a black woman's language when you say that. When you say in front of everybody, you know, she puts me in my place and she, you know, she does this and she does that, you know, that's like kind of like what LeBron was doing with his wife. Although that bitch ain't shoot a fucking shot or nothing. You know, these men will come up here and do this sucker shit, B. And I like Nick Cannon, yo. I like Nick Cannon. But I gotta be real. I gotta talk that shit to you, bro. Why you bring this bitch on your show? Just straight like that. She don't like you, bro. She don't even like men. She don't even like men. And I'm gonna tell you this. When you see women who don't like men and they're constantly trying to get in the power of things, you gotta be careful, B. Look at what they did with Black Lives Matter, right? Keep that in mind.
Way that I receive it because she has over 17 years in her profession as a therapist and an expert in psychology.
That's bad. That's bad. Why is that bad? Because I found some fucking holes in her motherfucking logic, dog. Oh, for watching 10 minutes of this nigga. The shit she was saying to him. You know what word salad is? Basically, people take a bunch of fucking words and they're really saying nothing. And you could get over like that on people who don't read or who don't know how to pay attention during a conversation. So a lot of people who can't pay attention during a conversation. So you're saying all of these words, and the only thing they could do is because they feel stupid, but they don't want to look stupid. They don't want you to look at them as stupid. So they'll fucking shake their head and yep, yes. They'll fucking yup you to death. Right? But after watching this shit, to hear that she got 17 years in that shit and all this, I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Let's go.
But also keeps it real. She ain't here cussing, calling,
Now, cussing. When your therapist cussing, depending on how, the context. Well, I'll tell you, this woman off the rip exerts more boss babe energy than professional. You'll see what I'm talking about.
You're referring to, she's saying all the words. Let's just say that. And this is probably our third session. And I honestly want to have the opportunity. Welcome back.
Yeah, definitely. I'm happy to be back.
No doubt. I'm excited to talk about you. I mean, we generalized, conversations about, the black woman in whole. We even talked a lot about, black men. Specifically, we kind of dove into my life. But for those who may or may not know who you are and where you come from, I want to give you the opportunity to tell a little bit about yourself.
Yes, Nick, because I had no idea who she was until you put her on your show. You give women a platform, they will hurt you. You give women a platform, they will hurt you. These dudes do it, these rappers do it, these fucking guys, these CEOs do it, and they get fucking stabbed in the back. Okay? You gotta stop allowing these women access to your platforms, to your boardrooms, to your fucking VIP section. You have to stop, bro. Because it's not good for you. You're not gonna get anything out of it. You're not gonna get anything out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Share your story and your journey. First and foremost, where do you come from?
I come from San Pedro, which is a community in Los Angeles. Small city, small town,
Nice.
product of two teenage parents. They had me and said, let's go make a baby. We're in love.
Right.
Went and got a motel, couldn't afford a hotel, literally. So I was conceived in a motel. So, I got it naturally and everything. I'm back.
Hilarious.
No, but
and even in that process, was trying to do the right thing and got a young lady pregnant, and then, he went on to, go further his ministry and go to college and get out the hood to North Carolina.
Look at that.
My mom went and worked her ass off and was a single mom, but, my father's mother was the one who actually kind of stepped up and was the matriarch for us all.
My mom's mother stepped up and raised all of us, and my dad on there alone were, but I knew we're nothing. And he's told me that, he said, baby, father.
All the things that we need to do to cater to your desires. But I think maybe that adds to why you said, like, if a man who's going to take care of his kid, because to me, it's not even about, like, I could despise the mom, but that has nothing to do with the child.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think in our community, a lot of times, first of all, I've tried to be an example in that space, because we have seen men who, because I don't rock with your mama, therefore I don't rock with you.
Right.
And I think, if anything, that.
All right. I don't rock with your mama. I don't rock with you. Now, here's what I need you to understand. There are a lot of men, a shit slew of men, who don't feel like that. They feel like, there are some that do feel like that, but there are many who stay away because your mama was too complicated. Stay away because your mama was too much of a liability to them. There's a lot of men who stay away from their children's mother because she's like the only one that can make him strangle her to death. They stay away for their own fucking mental health, bro. Being around this toxic bitch, I come around, it's only 3 minutes before she starts yelling and saying some bullshit, and she knows what to say to get me upset, and I'm not in the space to take all of this disrespect and this attitude. I'm not in the space for that. I'm in the space though to be the bigger person and walk away and protect myself. I know I won't be any good to my child if I am behind bars. I know I'll be doing my child a disservice if I break her the fuck up. Now she can't take care of my kid because her arm is twisted behind her back. You understand? I hate, and this is a realization that I just came to. I didn't because I wasn't diving into this type of shit, as far as men and having baby mama shit and all that. Like, I saw it, but I didn't dive into it and really investigate and do due diligence on it and find out what's going on. But I've been doing that lately. And all of those people, a lot of those people who grew up and they may have seen their dad, like they could count on two hands how many times they've seen their dad, or their dad was around and then he was gone. There's a lot of those people, even people who've never seen it. A lot of them are coming around now, and they're finding their fucking dads, and they're finding out a lot of truths behind that shit. Mommy said that daddy didn't want me. Mommy said blah, 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 blah. Nah, nigga. Nah, mommy. You lied. I talked to dad. I seen him. We hung out. He told me his side of the story. He showed me videos when he came by. He showed me receipts of stuff that he bought and receipts of child support that was sent. He showed me his paychecks, which you told me that he left. A lot of this is coming out, man. Everybody loves to blame this fucking child, this single mother epidemic on only the men. Men play a part. Men take 50%. The problem is women haven't not been taking their 50%. Why? Since the fucking 70s, black women have not been taking their 50% of this bullshit. When women talk about, and she's going to talk about it, black men and making all these babies, blah, 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 she's only talking about 10% of our population. Brad, if I got Brad watching, he probably won't watch this, but if I got any white guys watching, or white women or Asian women, or any other race, I want you to hear this. 54% of black men are single and do not have kids. It's more than half, 54%. So what's left out of the 54 from out of 100? 46%. Out of that 40%, 46% of black men that do have children, that have fathered children, 36% of them are married. %36 are married. So these black women who are always saying, and you know, some racist white guys are always saying, yeah, all they do is make babies. Brother, it's only 10%, Pop, out of 100, right? 20 million black men, 10% is 2 million. 2 million black men is a lot. And these 2 million black men out of the 20 are fucking 56% of black women. 59%, sorry. So we got our 10% of bullshit over here that we're taking accountability for. You understand? We got 10%. All right. So now what? Well, 61% of black women have kids. Out of that 61%, 59 out of 61, 59% have kids by multiple fathers. Okay? So this thing, you know, you're blaming, how much is 59% out of 22 million? It's like 18 million, some shit like that. So 2 million black men are impregnating the fuck out of 18 million black women. Yeah, because they only like a certain type. Just so happens the type that's getting the most pussy, that 10% of men, it all works out, right? But I need you to understand that 10% of men is what they're talking about. 54 don't have kids, aren't married. 36% are married and have kids. So when they talk that shit, they excluded 90% of black men. I want to show you something. Check this out. Man shares pain, saying his mom kept him from his father for 26 years.
26 years. You know what kept me away from him? My mom told me that my dad said I was a mistake and kept me away from my father. Every time, this been looking for me since I was a kid.
Yeah.
He's been looking for me. I finally talked to my dad. He's a good dude. My mom told me my dad has not paid child support since I was a kid. I finally meet this. He has envelopes full of shit proof showing he been paying child support. My mom calls me. What you doing, baby? What's going on? I'm at my dad's house. What the fuck you doing at the house? Didn't I say don't discuss family business? My dad bust through the door and snatched the phone. I was trying to, like, no. He's like, hello? Put my son back on the phone. No, it's my son too. What do you want? Put my son back on the phone. And my dad loses it. Going in on my mom. And I'm listening to my mom. All that slapping, abuse, and beating me up, choking me when I'm on the floor, beating me with belts, wrapping hangers around other hangers. My mom.
This is shit that we don't investigate or talk a lot about. The abuse women have on their kids, specifically their male kids, right? On their male kids, do you know 71% of abuse, neglect, and fatalities come from the mother? 71%. And out of that 71% of abuse, neglect, and death, 60% of them are boys. 60% are boys. I'm here to, basically tell you guys that there's another side to this fucking coin, and these broads are forever trying to bury it. They don't want it to come out, but it's coming out. Their fucking infidelity is coming out. Their violence is coming out. We're being more aware of their fucking violent nature, their fucking lies, and their abuse. I would say that the black woman is actually worse than the black man when it comes to toxicity and abuse, neglect, emotional abuse. Yeah, that's why I'm like, yo, why the fuck did he have this broad on his channel? Like, she fuck with him. They don't like you, bro. They don't like black men.
Turned into a 2-year-old little girl when my dad started talking to her. She talked to me like a my entire life. He's yelling on the phone, "You mad because I left you and I didn't want to be with you no more. And you kept my son away from me as a weapon." Whenever my mom would get pissed off by my dad or my sister's dad, she would say, "We'll never see your son again if you disrespect." Kept me away from my dad for 26 years. You know what kept?
Now, a lot of this is just, like, this is how shit works, B. They put all that trauma, all that shit, they think they won, right? This young man, we already know, what happens when a woman raises a male by herself. It's a lot of rough shit that that offspring's going to go through. Right? He's more prone to violence. He's more prone to beating this bitch up. Like my ex-wife, when she starts trying to go in on my sons, I stop that shit. No. You're not gonna get him accustomed to bowing down to a woman. You're not gonna get him accustomed to taking feeling this small, like you said, to a woman. That's why these stupid niggas out here will crash out for a bitch that don't even care about them. No. As a matter of fact, tonight, my son, what he did? What the fuck he did? I think he ate some cereal and he left it out on a counter or some shit like that. I mean, not on a counter, on a dining room table. He left it out. Right? So he comes in the living room. She's like, "Did you leave? Did you eat cereal?" Or some shit. And like he was standing there, he was like standing there scared. So I said, "Hey, yo, man, like, what's up with you? Did you do it or not?" She was like, yeah, he did it. He just don't want to say it. I said, "Yo, come here, man." He was in the dining room. I had him walk over to me. I said, "Yo, listen, you gotta learn to hold your fucking nuts, man." Yeah, I talked to him like that. You gotta learn to hold your fucking nuts, man. whether or not you did something or you didn't do it, if you did it and the person finds out you did it, if there's a repercussion, you're going to get the repercussion, right? All right. So if you did it, man, just be like, yeah, y'all did it. You know, oh, my bad. I did it. You know, my fault. I apologize. Don't stand there and fucking cower in front of nobody. Don't know. And I'm saying this in front of her. I don't even give a fuck if it's her. I don't care if it's me. You gotta learn to stand on your own 2 fucking feet. If you did something, you did it. That's it. You know, if a person want to take it to another level, then we'll just take it to another level. But other than that, man, you can't be like that breeds bad character. Next thing you know, you're outside. Maybe you said something to a girl and a nigga approaches you. Yo, did you say such and such to Shelly? And you standing there. Nah, nigga. Yeah, I said it. Like one thing, like I don't want my children to be tyrants, but they will not be no fucking sucker. No. I told him, I said, yo, if you did something, you gotta do it because you are a stand-up guy. Not no, I want you to be, no, you are a stand-up guy. So if you did something, you did it. They'll respect you more. A person will end up respecting you more than they would if you're cowering from them. Who fuck cowering from who, nigga? Cowering? Scared? So man, as long as God have guns and knives on this fucking planet, you ain't got to be afraid of no fucking body. But women love to, because they can't do it to an adult male. You understand what I'm saying? They can't do that shit to an adult male. So when they have little young males, they'll do. I'm telling you, they'll do that shit, bro. They'll do that shit. They'll try to humiliate you. They'll fucking hit you. All kind of shit, bro. If you got a fucking son, don't let that bitch do that shit to your son. Don't let her do that shit to your son. You tell him, your son, right in front of her, listen, don't let no one scare you like that, nigga. If you did something, you did it. If you spilt the milk, you spilt the cereal, you left the cereal, you whatever the fuck you did it. My bad. I'm gonna go clean it up. That's it. Don't stand there cowering or this or that. This dude said his mom used to choke him on the floor and hit him with hangers and all that. That's because she can't do that shit to a grown man. She's a fucking punk. Women are punks, pussy ass niggas too. You ain't know that? Bitches are sucker ass niggas too. Because a bitch will get all up in your face and say shit to you and do shit to you because she thinks nothing's gonna happen. But she won't do that shit to a fucking Shaquana, nigga. Big ass Shaquana, Big Shirley will put a fucking 100-hand slap on her ass. She won't do that shit with her. But with you, she'll get up in your face, she'll hit you, talk all kind of wild shit. Tell you to do something, call you pussy, bitch ass nigga, all that. She won't do that shit to Keisha. Keisha snatch her motherfucking braids out.
Kept me away from him. My mom told me that my dad said I was a mistake and kept me away from my father. Every time, this been looking for me since I was a kid.
Yeah.
He's been looking for me. I finally talked to my dad. He's a good dude. My mom told me my dad has not paid child support since I was a kid. I finally meet this. He has envelopes full of shit proof showing he's been paying child support. My mom calls me. What you doing, baby? What's going on? I'm at my dad's house. What the fuck you doing at Didn't I say don't discuss family business? My dad bust through the door and snatched the phone. I was trying to, like, no. Like, hello? Put my son back on the phone. No, it's my son too. What do you want? Put my son back on the phone. And my dad loses it. Going in on my mom. And I'm listening to my mom. All that slapping, abuse, and beating me up, choking me when I'm on the floor, beating me with belts, wrapping hangers around other hangers. My mom turned into a 2-year-old little girl when my dad started talking.
Yo, I got a story. I was working in a Bing, solitary confinement, and there was this one dude in there. His name was Jackson. Jackson was kind of short. He might have been about 5'7", 5'8". Slender dude. Jackson splashed me. I'm walking past, there was a crack, and there's crack in the cell doors. You get something, you can squirt it, and you can splash a nigga. He was upset over something that he had to wait for, whatever. And I had heard something that may have happened to him. And I've told this story one time before, but somebody new might be watching. So Jackson splashed me. The protocol is you hit the bells, they come there, they take the inmate out, take him to the intake. You know, you change your shirt, you turn your shirt in as evidence, and you know, he gets more Bing days. I said, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I said, yo, I see why your mama used to sell your little sissy ass to them fucking niggas. You fucking faggot. I was mad. Nigga splashed me. I don't know if it was piss. I ain't know what it was. But I ain't gonna take him out. I'm gonna leave him there. Yeah. I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be, right? His reply let me know that the shit was real. His mom used to sell him to men for drugs. Jackson was there because he murdered her. He beat her to death with a baseball bat. I think he beat her with a baseball bat, and then he shot her, or some one or the other. But there was a bat involved, and there was a fucking gun involved. I walked away, smelled my shirt. It's like, man, I don't know if it's piss, bro. Fuck it. I'll wash this shit when I go home, right? Because I was off the next day. The next 2 days I was off. 2 days go by. I'm thinking about this nigga. I'm thinking about him. Because that's fucked up. That's fucked up. My 2 days go by. I see him on my first. He was, you know, how you doing, Mr. West? Like, how you doing, Jackson? You all right? It's like, yeah, I'm good. It's all right. That day went by. The next day went by. The third day. So it's been 5 days, right? My 2 past days and my 2 past days and 3 work days. 5 days go by. Couldn't hold it no more. He had some kind of service. So they had to take him out of cell and take him to the day room and some shit. So I cracked the cell. They took him out, took him to the day room. I called the officer. I said, "Yo, come here." So the officer comes over. I let him in the bubble. I said, "Yo, hold me down for a minute." So I go out onto the floor and I go to Jackson. And I say, "What's up, man?" And he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" I say, "Yo, last week I said something to you. I shouldn't have said. And it was fucking with me for the last few days. And I gotta apologize to you, man. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. As a fucking CO, I'm saying this to an inmate. But it was as a man saying it to another man. I'm glad he killed that bitch. I'm glad he took her the fuck out of this world, bro. But I shouldn't be, according to God rules. But fuck that bitch, man. You don't, you get mad at a human being and you do shit to them. To adults. You don't do that. You don't do shit to kids, man. You don't do shit to kids. After that, Jackson would have killed the nigga for me. He would have. And that motherfucker was so goddamn strong. He had that what they call retarded strength, nigga. Cause he wasn't. He was he was like a regular, like he might have been maybe like a $170, $170, 5'8", some shit like that. That nigga was strong. I knew how strong he was because he got mad. And when that nigga got mad, and I should have known because he got mad enough to fucking take his mom's out. So you gotta know when a nigga loses cool, he gone. I'm thinking that we got a rapport. I'm trying to calm the nigga down. I forgot. I think it was either another officer or another inmate that shit just popped off with. This nigga was. I'm just like, yo, Jackson. I'm calling this nigga. I'm trying to hold this nigga back. I said, God damn. I said, this nigga's fucked like an ox, B. Fathers create a pain on children. But a mother's pain is different. Just, because of our biological differences. You really look at the mother as a nurturing, supportive being. I mean, you get your life force from a fucking tit. She cradled you and held you. So for her to violate you, it hurts more. It hurts when if a dad violates you, like, that nigga abandon you or some shit, or he leave, whatever. Yeah, that hurt. But your mom, they do damage, man. Yeah, but that's the only inmate I apologize to. Think that nigga still locked up too. So a lot of justice isn't justice. The legal system isn't just. There's not. There should be a moral aspect to added to the justice system. It should be some form of morality added to it, bro. You could have called, DIFUS, ACS, whatever the fuck they call it. But he couldn't. He couldn't. He can't do that. His mind is broken. Like, his shit is legit broke. The woman that was supposed to care for this motherfucker for his life sold him into painful experiences with grown men. Then he went back to her and maybe she gave him dinner. So the two didn't go together. You're caring for me and you loving me, but so his mind was broke. So no, a nigga like that, they can't ask. And this isn't from being in getting a doctorate in fucking psychology or none of that shit. Nigga, this is real life experience. This is hands-on dealing with these motherfuckers for years, every day. It's not like, you see this motherfucker once and that's it. No, it's the same nigga, same problem every day for years.
That's a sin at a different level, but I could see how you can easily fall into that because especially if there's conflict there and if someone's making it difficult for you to be a father, all you can do, again, going back to our past sessions, is retreat, is flee, because I'm not going to go back and forth with you because you're breaking my heart because you're not allowing me to see my child.
And I can't deal with the heartbreak, so I'm running away from the heartbreak, not really the responsibility, but the responsibility gets negated as well.
But if you're using my child as a pawn, what type of individual are you anyway?
And we don't care about the type of individual you are. If my eye's on the prize to see my child, then by all means necessary, let me run these plays. Yeah. And I got to sit in emotion or deal with emotions, and I just got to get my emotions.
That's what we got to learn. We just unpacked some heavy stuff right there.
Yeah, totally.
But again, in any man who is a single father who is desiring to be in their child's life at the highest capacity, I just encourage you just to work through it. Try to become as emotionally intelligent as possible and always focus on the child.
And you
even
gotta
if you
feel
don't
your way
necessarily
through.
get along with the mom, or you're going to have challenges, you're going to have conflict. And even
I don't agree. I don't agree. Reason being, I always tell you guys, you're the most important person. You're the most important person, kid. As the father, you provide and you protect. You put your life on a line for these people. Now, if there is a situation where you're dealing with a woman and she is irrational, how do you deal with a person that is irrational, violent, disrespectful, triggering, toxic? How do you deal with that type of person regularly? Not say it's not your child's mother. How do you deal with that type of person? This is what they're not saying. How do you deal with a motherfucker that makes you want to break their face? How do you deal with them? You could be the most rational person. You could be the most calm person. But when it comes to your kid, different level of anger, aggression, tolerance is present, bro. Okay? A regular person, you dealing with that motherfucker, what do? You stay away from their ass, right? That's what a rational person would do. Every time I'm around this motherfucker, he makes me lose my cool. He won't stop. I say, yo, bro, listen, I really don't like to play like that. But this nigga won't stop. What do? Stay away from him, or you engage. Right? Engaging has consequences, right? So you being a man, you have your own core values, and you do what's best for you, right? Now let's say that's your baby mom, your child's mother. What do? This bitch knows how to tick you off on purpose. She knows the right things to say at the right time, the right way to make you want to hit her. She wants you to hit her. She will go through a couple of slaps, maybe a choke, to see you sent away for like 18 months or so. She will go through that. How do you deal with a person like that? Stay away from them, dog. So when you see a man and he comes around, he hasn't seen his child in 2 months, maybe he waits till like the next big holiday. All right, boom. You know what? We got into an argument over the summer. I'm gonna wait till, his birthday's in fucking September. I'm gonna come by for his birthday. With the hopes that it's a celebration, everybody should be happy. Maybe this bitch will be cool, man. Maybe she'll be cool and she won't be on no bullshit. I'll come by, I'll bring some gifts, I'll drop her off some cash, you know what I'm saying? And shit'll be fine. But when these men show up, they're met with, what the fuck you doing here? We ain't seen you in 2 months, and you fucking show up like everything cool and da-da-da. Pick up right where you left off at. Because this is a toxic piece of shit bitch, man. So, when you see these men who they haven't seen their kids since their birthday, then they see their kid again on fucking Christmas, then they see him again on fucking school break or whatever. I don't fucking know. Yo, there's reasons behind that, dog. So let me ask you, what are they supposed to do? That man, what is he supposed to do? Stop his life? He meets another woman that's better than this bitch. She doesn't fucking fuck with him. She doesn't antagonize him. She understands him. She's cool. She's more feminine. She actually acts like she likes him as a person. He gets in a relationship with her. Maybe she has a kid. He is in an environment with a young child and his lady. That child that's in that environment with him benefits. You hear women say, "Oh, he won't raise his kid, but he'll raise another woman's kid." That's because you're a bitch. That's really what it is. People don't like to admit this. You know what people do? They'll know the answer, but they'll keep it to themselves. And then they'll just go along with whatever narrative somebody just shoots out. Yeah, he's fucked up. Yeah, nah, man, this niggas be raising other people's kids. You know the answer to that, nigga. You know the answer to that. He's in an environment that is more conducive to his well-being, to his mental health. The people in that environment are going to benefit. Just so happens to be another woman who has a child. Child's going to benefit. The child comes with the woman, right? That child gets their own room. That child gets to go, wherever they're going on the weekend. Oh, it's Saturday, yo, you know what? We're going to get up. We're going to go to the fucking park and we're going to go build fucking sandcastles. I don't fucking know. Whatever the fuck you do. Right? Then this dude's baby mama happens to be at the park or in the mall or whatever. And he sees, and she sees her child's father with his, quote, new family. Ooh, does that make her salty? See, this is shit niggas don't talk about, B. Because there's a lot of dudes who like to kiss the fucking dirt off of these bitches' feet, bro. I don't know why. I don't know why niggas ain't break this shit down. This is what men go through. I don't go through this. Thank God. Thank God I don't go through this shit. But this is what men go through, bro. I've actually dealt with women that have kids, but I have a great relationship with my kids and with my ex-wife. Thank God. Knock on fucking wood. All right. But there are men that don't.
Even if she's not at the space, just try to work through it and be there for that child.
100%. Yeah, no, absolutely. So
because probably as two individuals who, I know I came up in an unorthodox household, and I appreciate every time.
Oh, my bad. So what do you do? Solution. What do you do in that situation? I hope you got some bread because you're going to need a lawyer. Get a lawyer. Contact a lawyer. A family attorney, whatever. And you say, listen, this is the situation. What are my options? What have you seen in your experience, your time as a family lawyer, court lawyer, whatever? What have you seen? There's options, drop-off points, third-party communication. You know what I'm saying? They even have apps now where you can communicate through an app that the court sees. They see your interaction with between the parents, right? So this way, it would behoove of you to talk like you got some fucking sense in this app to your baby father. All right? Those are the only two options right now that I can think of. Me, though, I would suggest when you go around your kid's mother, Amazon.com. See this? This is a video and audio recorder. Okay? It's got the buttons on the side, right? When you're done, you can upload it through a USB port on your laptop or device. Clip it to your shirt, your jean pocket, whatever. All right. Get you a device that you could carry, and like a cop going to a fucking a house or dealing with some shit, you turn the motherfucker on. Okay. You could even do this with your phone. You know, you got your phone here, maybe you're on FaceTime, you got it here, or you're laying it down. All right. The device can hear what's going on, whatever. I think this might have been like $30, 30, $40, I don't know. Right? There's nothing better than having a fly on the wall that could talk and show you shit. Though that is my solution to you. Okay, I don't like I like to give a solution. Excuse me. I like to give you guys a solution to an issue.
My parents put me first before them. And sometimes as humans, it's not always easy to put, even as your own children.
In my value
self-preservation is the first law of nature.
Yeah.
So, you know.
That's right. That's why niggas don't come around sometimes. Self-preservation. She's the only one that could incite me to violence within minutes. It's not safe for me to be around her. I could lose access to my home because I lost access to going to work, because I lost access to freedom. You understand?
You got to take care of yourself, but still take the attempt to put your children's feelings before your own.
And I think that's why statistically, that's a big reason why the divorce rate is high, because of what you just said, people putting kids first. I beg to differ, even though my dad agrees with you too. He's the dad, he puts us first. He don't care who walks.
What the fuck did she just say?
Divorce rate is high because of what you just said, people putting kids first. I
put your children's feelings before your own.
And I think that's why statistically, that's a big reason why the divorce rate is high, because of what you just said, people putting kids first.
The divorce rate is high because of what you just said. People putting kids first. No. No.
You shut your lying nigga lips up.
No.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
The divorce rate is not high because people are putting their kids first. The divorce rate is high. 70 to 90% of black women file for divorce. Irreconcilable differences. It's not high because they're putting their kids first. Women are destroying and breaking up homes because of their feelings. Women are leaving 14-year marriages because of their feelings. It's not high because they're putting their kids first. What the fuck is that? Did Nick catch that? Did he catch that?
Beg the differ, even though my dad agrees with you too. He's the dad. He puts us first. He don't care who walks. We come first. So he's been an excellent father, but not the best of man, just being real. Me and him had debates where I say, Daddy, I don't agree with that. He's like, I've never put a woman before you or even my mother. And I'm saying, I don't agree with that. When I have kids with my husband, we come first. Doesn't mean the kids go without, but when you have two adults who understand that we're showing learned behavior and we're teaching our kids what a healthy relationship looks like, not just for marriage, but also them. It doesn't mean that the kids don't eat and the wife and husband does. There's a hierarchy for me that goes God, my hubs, me, and then the kids.
I understand
and so
that.
the covenant is broken only for...
Bro, I'm a good listener. I'm a good listener, bro. And that didn't make any sense. She keeps saying husband.
You can bank on it. You can put 100 grand on it. Anything I said, I stand on it.
Is that her husband?
In a private plane, I land on it. Lily then they call me Bankole. Cause I walk around with a bank on me. Show them Gangnam style, put the gang on them. Twist my fingers up and bang on them. Lily Lily different type of evil available. And any one of them can kill you. At any time, anything can happen, no. Any one of us could have been pop some more. We must go and the most I...
Husband. Husband.
For me, I'm not self-projecting. The covenant is broken when it goes the other way. Of
Hold
course,
on,
if I'm married and my husband says, it's only one person gets to eat and there's three of us, I'm sure both of us are going to equally agree it's the child.
Right.
But when it comes to making sure our relationship is healthy, which is really the healthiness of the environment for our child, for me, my value is only my husband comes first and I come first. And I find in my session of 17 years, Nick, there's been many more men than women who come in and say that the relationship failed. And if you look at divorce rate statistics of when divorce happens, it's after that first child.
Yeah.
It's after because
they should have never got married in the first place.
Probably so, but also because, whoever it was, and from my experience, it has been the woman, we're not knocking women, but it's been the woman more who has placed the child first and totally dissipated the man out the relationship.
Only reason why I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this, Doc,
it's okay,
is because if we're talking life,
yeah,
these children did not ask to be here.
Right.
They are our responsibilities.
100%.
As individuals, I can't put my desires and my happiness,
Hold the fuck
or
up.
I shouldn't,
Right.
over someone that I am.
Hold the fuck up. What did I just hear? Hold up.
Out first and totally dissipated the man out the relationship.
Only reason why I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this,
Yeah.
Doc.
That makes sense.
First and my husband says, it's only one. But when it comes to making sure our relationship is healthy, which is really the healthiness of the environment for our child. For me, my value is only my husband comes first and I come first. And I find in my session of 17 years, Nick, there's been many more men than women who come in and say that the relationship failed. And if you look at divorce rate statistics of when divorce happens, it's after that first child. It's after because
they should have never got married in the first place.
Probably so, but also because, whoever it was, and from my experience, it has been the woman, we're not knocking women, but it's been the woman more who has placed the child first and totally decipated the man out the relationship.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. You shut your lying nigga lips up.
What the fuck are we talking about here, bro? What are we talking? Hold on. You putting the kids first. Women are putting the kids first by leaving the fathers. I think she's connecting the man and woman's happiness being a good environment for the child. But here's the thing. Bitches, they don't give a fuck about what the child wants. We're not even going to act like they're leaving their father because of putting their child first. We're not going to act like that's why they do that. We're not going to act like that. We're not going to act like that because that is not why they do it. Why do they divorce? Why do they divorce? Why do they divorce and leave their child, and leave their husband, and the child is fucking crying, the child is upset because he or she misses daddy? You're leaving because you want to be happy. It ain't because of the fucking child. Who told you that? Who told you that dumb shit? Let me show you something. What is this guy's name? Where that bitch at? Oh, you motherfucker. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you why right now. Women have these kids and they say, you know what? I don't like what he's doing. You know what, man? I'm leaving. They don't want to be stuck up under the man. They don't. I'm going to show you what they think. Oh, you know what? I might as well. I'm gonna let you watch this while I pull this shit up.
Only reason why I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this, Doc,
It's okay.
is because if we're talking life,
Yeah.
these children did not ask to be here.
Right.
They are our responsibilities.
100%.
As individuals, I can't put my desires and my happiness, or I shouldn't,
Right.
over someone that I am responsible for. So even I'm not even talking about putting food on the table and all that. I'm talking about, we're talking about mental, physical, and spiritual well-being in a household. I'm not, and again, this is pretty heavy. Because one, I grew up with it, and I'm a product of it, and I'm producing it.
Yeah.
When an adult is saying, mama gotta live too. Mama need her man. Daddy gonna do his thing. I'll be back. When those mentalities are presented to a child,
that's a different mentality.
That's where abandonment issues surface, and where a child feels like I'm not good enough.
The woman's happy
in that sense because they made decisions for themselves before they made decisions for me. And children pick up on that at a very early age. So I much rather say, it ain't about your mama right now. I'm rocking with you. And say that to my child as much as possible, even if that hurts mama's feelings. To me, at least, because I know that child is going to grow up with a certain level of self-worth that they didn't feel like daddy put work before me, daddy put women before me, daddy put whatever before me. If I can instill anything into my own children, is that you are my number one priority. Even all that I do is for you. Every dollar that I make is going to you. So again, I'm pretty sure people in the comments going to debate, have different things, like, and even we all have different experiences. But every time I see an adult put their happiness,
but you're describing more of an adult saying, "I'm gonna do me at the expense of you."
Even in a marriage,
because that's what I'm saying. Even in a marriage, but we're not talking about the level of I'm gonna do me at the expense of your needs. I'm gonna do me for my pleasures.
Because we do that as humans.
But a healthy family dynamic takes balance, and it's very unhealthy for a child to feel like they are number one above authority, because what happens is they grow up to then disrespect authority, which we entitled, and they grow up with this narcissistic type of personality, even if they're not diagnosed with it. And then you have
spoiled brats.
And then you have these kids who don't respect when law enforcement pulls them over. We have an issue. They're going to school and these teachers can't even get them to sit still enough because they're so used to being number one and things going their way. No. Listen, the first place a child should get their feelings hurt by hearing no, or the first place a child should see that you are not always number one is circumstantial, should be at home. Because life is going to teach you that you are not always going to be the butter cake of everybody's dessert.
I can't be the butter cake.
So, but what I'm saying, then what that does is that creates that emptiness that I'm going to poke at you again, that emptiness and that sense of inadequacy within you because you were groomed in a certain way that life can't maintain. And so what happens is you're number one and you're the golden child and all these things. It happens with athletes. Then you go into the real world after you retire and everything shatters. Now you got depression, your suicidal ideations,
but they still accomplish things that most people will never accomplish and experience great experience because we told them how great they were from the beginning. We instilled in them that we gonna support you all the way along your ride so you can not only reach the levels that you want, so you can reach back and then get the rest of the family.
We will support you along your ride. That does not mean that kid doesn't understand balance, that there's a thing called boundaries that our community doesn't seem to have, probably because of that dynamic. The boundary goes, baby, we've been at your football game, your soccer game, your ballerina game, daddy and I all day. It's 9 o'clock. It's shutdown time. There's a boundary where it's time where this is our time, and you're teaching your child how to grow up and not be a narcissist that then needs his woman or her man to put them first over everything, which is a fairy tale and unrealistic. You're teaching.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And this is the problem with you chicks. You don't want to put your man over everything. God said, yo, it's you. When you leave your parents' house, it's you and there's your husband and your fucking wife. Your wife comes before your parents. This is the new family that you have started. The wife was given away by the father. She is no longer the father's responsibility. Of course, there's a bond. They're going to be there because that's the father and the daughter, of course. But this is the new title owner, nigga. Like, what do you mean? Yeah. You're supposed to put, what the fuck are you talking about? You're not supposed to put your spouse over anybody? Who told you that? I gotta hear this again. To make sure that I'm hearing this right. Hold on. 1356.
Baby, we've been at your football game, your soccer game, your ballerina game, daddy and I all day. It's 9 o'clock. It's shutdown time. There's a boundary where it's time where this is our time, and you're teaching your child how to grow up and not be a narcissist that then needs his woman or her man to put them first over everything, which is a fairy tale and unrealistic. You're teaching them the balance between we are a family.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Mom and dad, they were at your games and all of that shit. Okay. The day is over. Go in your room, do whatever the fuck you're gonna do. It's mommy and daddy time. Call us if you need us. Right? Cool. Then she says, well, when you get into a relationship, that child is gonna think that their spouse is supposed to put them above everything else too. Yes. Yes. And this is something that broads don't understand. The man has the most responsibility, the most risk, the most societal pressure. That's why I say the man is the most important in any fucking relationship. If there comes a point where I'm expected, because I'm a man, I have to die for you or defend your honor and get injured or go to jail or whatever like that, I have to provide for you. Your mental health is now attached to me. If you fucking go to work and you acting different, the first thing them niggas at work gonna say is, well, what's going on in that house? I don't know. She's not acting the same. She's something's wrong. And this, has she mentioned anything about Derek? Like, what's going on? All of a sudden, something wrong with this bitch. She having an off day. They're blaming Derek. They're questioning Derek. The video I did the other day, this bitch just decides to up and leave her family. Who was the number one suspect? The fucking husband. This bitch said, you know what? I don't want to be a fucking mom no more. I don't want to be a fucking wife no more. I'm leaving. And the bitch left for 11 years. No. You damn right. You're supposed to put your spouse before everything, man. It's you and her, man. You know how, like, if you got a brother, right? Growing up, you got a brother, or you got a sister. Me, I'm an only child. I didn't have a brother or sister. I got, a couple of dudes that I was really close with. They were my brothers. You know what I'm saying? But if you got a biological brother, that's your brother, dog. So now when you start your new family, and that is your wife, you're out of this household. You started a new nuclear fucking household. Your wife is your motherfucking ride or die. She's supposed to be ride or die. Your husband is supposed to be your ride or die. You're supposed to do anything for this nigga. Yeah, you're supposed to do anything for him. Of course, you talk, you say, yo, babe, listen, man, I got it. I'm going to a business meeting. I'm trying to start this business. I'm going to talk to an investor. You mind riding with me? I don't want to hear, no, I was supposed to go with Kiana to brunch. I don't give a fuck about that. No, fuck Kiana. You go with Kiana to brunch tomorrow or next Sunday. This is a business meeting with your husband. You come with me. What do you mean you're not supposed to? What the fuck is she talking about, dog? Am I bugging?
Dynamic. There's times that daddy's going to come first. There's times that mama's going to come first. And there's times that you come first. But what we do is we teach that so that it becomes more of a wholesome type of feel, not me. And the moment you don't get me, you flee because you can't see.
Where the fuck did that come from? What is
dynamic? There's times that daddy's going to come first. There's times that mama's going to come first. And to put them first over everything, which is a fairy tale, it's shutdown time. There's a boundary where it's time where this is our time, and you're teaching your child how to grow up and not be a narcissist that then needs his woman or her man to put them first over everything, which is a fairy tale and unrealistic. You're teaching them the balance between, we are a family dynamic. There's times that daddy's going to come first. There's times that mama's going to come first. And there's times that you come first. But what we do is we teach that so that it becomes more of a wholesome type of feel, not me, 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 me. And the moment you don't get me, 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 you flee because you can't sit in your emotions of hearing no, because you got to control things to keep things the way you need it, which is called codependency. So what you describe is then creating a codependent child that says, if I'm not the center, guess what? Fuck all this because I'm not the center of attention.
Because you went to every game, because you supported them in their games and shit like that. You're creating a codependency because you made it to every game or every violin recital for your kids. So now they're going to expect their girlfriend, or I mean, their wife or husband to make it to every.
Some type of feel, not me, 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 me. And the moment you don't get me, 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 you flee because you can't sit in your emotions of hearing no, because you got to control things to keep things the way you need it, which is called codependency.
Nah, she's wrong. She's wrong. Being able to make it to your kids' practice, whatever the fuck you're doing, that's not going to create codependency. That's actually going to teach them how to be there for their spouse. They're actually going to say, you know what, man, my mom and my dad made it to me for everything, and I enjoyed how that felt. So if my spouse needs me to be here for something, you know what, I'm going to be there for them. It's not going to make them, you know, you can miss a day or two or something like that. And she's talking about reality. In reality, you don't make every single fucking recital. You don't make every single birthday, not birthday, soccer game or some shit like that. You don't make everyone. If you're a stay-at-home mom, yeah, she could make every game. She's gonna drive the motherfucker to the game, right? So that creating a code, no. Nah. Far stretch. That's a far stretch.
So what you describe is then creating a codependent child that says, if I'm not the center, guess what? Fuck all this because I'm not the center of attention.
It gotta be the center. It gotta be the.
She said what Nick created, what you created was a codependent.
Understand that in a
Nick,
dynamic.
Kids create. We grow up to, if we don't do the work, right, and get a sense of self, we grow up to create the exact environment we learn to thrive or survive in, period. That's all we know. We can't create past what we know. That's why experience teaches.
If we create a hold up, slow down. See, she doing all this fast talking, and this shit ain't making sense. Not because you're talking fast, but because it's not making sense.
That in a
Nick,
dynamic.
Kids create. We grow up to, if we don't do the work, right, and get a sense of self, we grow up to create the exact environment we learn to thrive or survive in, period. That's all we know. We can't create past what we know. That's why experience teaches, words don't.
You can't create past what you know. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. That's bullshit too. That's bullshit too. You can't create past what you know. My dad was super abusive to all his bitches. I have never abused, no, I fucked one bitch up, but that was because I walked in and I saw a sight I shouldn't have seen, and shit went left. But other than that, I'm not a beat a bitch down type of guy. I will cut you off before I fuck you up because I don't want to. I don't feel like fucking you up. Like you could piss me off and it could really upset me, but I would rather just walk away. I don't want to have to bash your fucking nose in. I don't want to do that. Why? Come on, I don't feel like doing that. My dad was he was an asshole to my mom. I'm not abusive. The second guy my mom got with, he was verbally abusive. I'm not verbally abusive to I've never been verbally abusive to any of my females. I've held up a mirror. All of the vile shit you say to me, bitch, it's coming back. But I don't come in like, shut the fuck up, stupid bitch. No. I don't do that. I don't even call women bitches. When I talk about them, I call them bitches. But like my kid's mom, I don't call her a bitch to her face. Like I don't say, shut up, bitch. I don't do that. I've taken what I've seen my father and my stepfather do, and I said, I'm not going to do that. That's what I did. And I hear that people do that too, right? There's some cases where a person will see their father do something or their mother do something, and then they go and do it. There's also cases where that doesn't happen, right? Let me see, because I'm actually trying to be fair.
So if our child or my child, you're
Shut up.
things to keep things the way you need it, which is called codependency. So what you describe is then creating a codependent child that says, if I'm not the center, guess what? Fuck all this because I'm not the center of attention.
It gotta be the center. It gotta be the understand that in the
Nick,
dynamic.
Kids create. We grow up to.
Listen, man. I gotta pull the card about the therapist. She's not doing a good job at playing tennis, word tennis. You say something, the Nick says something. Then you say something, then Nick says something. You don't agree with Nick says, you don't cut him off and say, no, it's this. That's not an effective way of communicating. That's an effective way of shutting the person down in the conversation where they might not want to talk to you. But that's not an effective way of actually getting someone to understand where you're coming from. All right.
If we don't do the work, right, and get a sense of self, we grow up to create the exact environment we learn to thrive or survive in, period. That's all we know. We can't create past what we know. That's why experience teaches, words don't. So if our child or my child or your beautiful kids are always at the center of you, and she grows up and gets a man who cannot, he's a great man, but she can't be the center because what if he got kids like you and them kids are the center?
She need to pick better.
She may have to pick better. but just say she has someone who can't give her that same treatment and that's her norm. You have to be realistic about, or should I say aware about, what norms am I creating for my kids? And I'm saying because, listen, I'm a product of what you're saying. I was the golden child. I was the child that came first.
And look at you.
But I had to work through a lot of BS.
But we all do. We all have challenges. We all come with some shit. And that's why even right now, we're discussing a very small percentage of people. Because if we keeping it a stack, we all done been through some shit.
Oh, yeah, all of us, yeah.
And it only makes us stronger in that sense to where when we know how to handle something, and adversity builds character in that sense.
That's what I was going to say. It's more important for kids to...
You know what? The more and more I listen to her. The more and more I listen to her, it's like she just has to be the not center of attention. What am I trying to say? She just has to dominate the fucking conversation, dog. It's not even a conversation. Like it's just she just she's here for you to just let her talk, bro.
See the family dynamic, whether it's together or not. Process through things that may be uncomfortable for them as well and get to a resolve collectively than it is for them to be blinded with the fairy tale perspective or perception that's going to form that I'm always number one or I'm usually number one. And so that's
How are you getting that because your parents went to every fucking took you to your game? How are you getting this perception because your parents took you to your game?
kind of how life is going to life with me, because that kid won't know how to process the reality of what life does. Even when you reach the pinnacle of life and you get titles and success and all that. Look, that uphill climb is a mug, boy. And that uphill climb will show you what you came from or what you built. And also it'll show you what environment you were put. I came from a very adverse environment. So that's why I was able to catapult. Because I didn't know where I was running to. I knew I was running from though. So I put them track shoes on. They're still on. You may see heels today, but them track shoes are never unlaced because I'm still running from something, right? And I just happened to run into a lot of amazing opportunities and things and people and blessings and work and healing. I got blessed to run into that by default and by choice. But if a child...
It's called God's favor.
God's favor, baby. But we have to be very, very, very aware, from being in my field, of the norm we're creating for our babies, and of course, it's better to be involved and cause whatever chaos you're going to cause than have children have daddy issues or mommy issues, meaning you're just not there at all.
But I think you're going to have both.
Yeah, you're going to have both.
We all got daddy issues, we all got mama issues.
But there's different levels to it, though, Nick. There's different levels to it.
Absolutely. But at the end of the day, because I'm not a fan of Freud's perspective, is that it all comes from some reverting back to your childhood and some, because we need to stop making those excuses and blaming mama and daddy
100%.
for who we are.
100%.
You can blame mama and daddy for the cause.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you. It's like she's making it sound like people who have, perfect parents don't turn out fucked up. There's some people, man, their parents were perfect, B. They turned out fucked up. Some people have had a perfect childhood. Their parents gave them the right amount of this, the right amount of that, exposed them to the finer things, exposed them to hard work and and they still turn out fucked up, bro.
But you can't blame them for the effect.
There you go. Or your choices later on once you become an adult.
Once you understand, I went through some shit, but now I'm going to be...
But that's why mental health, therapy, coaching, psychologists, seeing that, going to it. I go to one myself as a doctor. Everyone needs to be in it because it's not about us as a professional telling you your choices were right or wrong. It's about us helping you figure out the root of that choosing and the norm that you're in, and just drawing out a plan that works for where you want to be. Because a lot of people are still in the environment that they don't want to be in because that's the childhood environment they've taken with them, and they keep recreating the same pathology, and they're going crazy in that. There's lack in that because
But that's not a kid who parents went to their games and made it to their games. That was the analogy she gave. If you make your kid think that your kid comes first, and she's kind of all over the place with this shit, bro.
Evolution hasn't taken place. And it's not because they don't want to evolve, Nick. It's because they don't have the effective tools to do so. People who come in my session are not there saying, I always just wanted to be messed up. I don't want to evolve. No, they're saying, like, Had I known this, Doc, 5 years ago, I swear to God, I would have moved on it. Had I had this tool, I would have moved quicker. Had I knew this is what evolution looked like, I would have jumped a long time ago. Had I known I can jump without a life jacket, but I felt safe within myself, I would have been a professional jumper. Right? People just need to know, how do I do it? And one thing we all want to know is that we're going to be okay when we do. Everybody just wants to be okay in whatever they're doing and wherever they're going. Will I be okay?
Right.
Well, whether you there or you not, Doc, will I be okay?
Right.
And they're only able to be okay when you teach people a sense of self, meaning who are you? How do you govern you? How do you manage, which is a better word for control, manage who you are, and how.
When she says, how do you govern you? How do you manage you? When I said having your core values, right? And it start off with 3. Like I told my sons to come up with 3 things about you that you will always follow. You know, pick 3 as you get older, add another one as you get older, add another, whatever. But name 3 things that you will always stick by. Maybe, you know what? I'll always admit to my fault. That's one of the core inner things about you that you're gonna always stand by. When that thing triggers and you say, oh damn, you know what? I fucked up. My core value is to always own up to my faults. You know what? I did do that. My bad. Maybe one of your core values is you won't let somebody fucking slap you in the face. You understand? All right, so that's one of my core values. Somebody hit me, I'm hitting them back, no matter what. Maybe another core value, you know, could be I don't know, whatever else you could think of, right? But it's good to establish like who the fuck you gonna be. This way, when you face with these situations, it's like a fucking manual that you always know what to do. Sometimes you get put in a situation you don't know what to do, and then you sit back and you like, damn, you start thinking about shit you should have did. Damn, I should have did this or I should have said that. If you have identified 3 things about yourself that you're gonna live by, you'll be a lot better than a motherfucker that don't. I'm always be a stand up person. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna own up to my faults. I ain't gonna let nobody put their hands on me. Start with those 3, right? But this whole shit, I'm still not in agreement with what she said about, you know, you showing up to your kids' games is gonna turn them into a narcissist. You showing up to your kids' games or your kids' recitals, you know, when they grow up and they get in their relationship, they're going to be a narcissist because they're going to think it's all about them. No, they're not, bro. No, they're not. No, they're not. And you are supposed to go on. When you get married, nigga, and I don't like marriage for people, but if you get married, that's supposed to be the only person you're going to go all out for, bro. Aside from like your, you know, you got real close friends or you know, brothers, shit like that. Your wife or your husband, nigga, that's who you going all out for. Since the dawn of time. I'm not, nah.
How do you produce the experience you want? Because you don't create my experience. I do. I already came here with the experience I want. Right. You can't create that for me. You already came here with the experience you want. That's the self-mastery of knowing how to create that. And when you have that type of knowledge, you'll never be perfect, but you can somewhat.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. So what happened? So she came there with her experience and he can't change it. How is this why how is this dumb? How is that statement dumb? So what happens when you come there with your experience that you already have? You're gonna have this experience. And I came there with my experience, and now I'm gonna have this experience. Now what? You show up, you know what? I'm gonna have a good experience. I'm not gonna argue. The other person shows up, yo, when I see this nigga, I'm gonna punch him in his face. Now what? This shit. They used to say that shit in corrections. Oh, if you put in your mind, you're gonna have a good day. You're gonna have a good. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You go to work. You go into. They say, all right, yo, go to 6 Upper South. You go to 6 Upper South. It's 33 inmates up there. You say, no matter, you know what, man, no matter what, I'm gonna have a good fucking day. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, because I already manifested the shit. And I already know the day I'm gonna have. But when you go up there, 17 cell, woke up and he said, today's the day that I'm gonna cut 13 cells' throat. Last tour, I ain't like what this nigga said, and I'm gonna put his shit on the gate. Right. So what happens when you fucking crack them cells, bro? Are you still gonna have the fucking day that you said you were gonna have because you fucking manifested it? Huh? Are you still gonna have that day? No. Let's whatever, man. Whatever, bro.
Experience I want.
Right.
You can't create that for me. You already came here with the experience you want. That's the self-mastery of knowing how to create that. And when you have that type of knowledge, you're
Self-mastery. I already created the shit that I'm gonna do. You can't change what I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna have the fucking day that I said I'm gonna have, the experience I said I'm gonna have. Okay. Am I reaching? Is that a stretch? Narcissistic personality disorder, condition that affects how you view yourself and relate to others. Having MPD means you have an excessive need to impress others or feel important. That need could be strong enough to drive harmful behaviors negatively affecting you and those around you. Is it a stretch? Am I reaching? I think she's kind of falling in place. I think she's falling in place with it. Man. Ooh.
never be perfect, but you can somewhat try to create a norm for your child. But once they become adults like you and I did, they go and do what they gonna do anyways. So at that point, you've done what you can do. And if you're not in more of a polyamorous, relationship like you are, and you're more monogamous one-on-one, you're hoping that you put your partner first enough to where y'all still have a damn relationship and you guys can continue to lead by example to your grown children on what a healthy relationship looks like. And it's not perfection. Another thing is, so at that point, you've done what you can do. And if you're not in more of a polyamorous, relationship like you are, and you're more monogamous one-on-one, you're hoping that you put your partner first enough to where y'all still have a damn relationship and you guys can continue to lead by example to your grown children on what a healthy relationship looks like. And it's not perfection. Another thing is this whole toxicity and dysfunctional thing, and I'm leaving this person because they're toxic. You're going to be alone. Not you, I'm saying people. You're going to be by your damn self, because let me explain something to you. If you get someone who's not toxic, it's because they're not human. In every relationship,
That's what I was saying in our first
yes,
session.
every relationship has some level of healthy dysfunction and some level of healthy toxicity. There's no way for you and I to cleave together without doing some of that.
You obviously don't leave for healthy toxicity. I'm not digging this. I'm not digging this. Women leave because they're fucking selfish. Women leave because they think the grass is greener. Women leave because they think they're going to find better. Women leave because most men are placeholders. All right. It's fucking nuts, B. It's fucking nuts. Yeah, I'm about ready to tap out because this shit is just fucking bunch of word salad. I don't have too much faith in what she's fucking saying, bro. Now, this question here: why is Dr. Cheyenne Bryant not married? Let's see here.
There's been 4 times that you've almost went down the altar. And
4 times. This person who they revere as a master of mental health and this and blah 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 has been engaged 4 times and not married. What does that say? Renowned life coach, co-founder branch, Dr. Bryant, founder of author award-winning readers 5-star book Mental Detox. You know, I think she's full of shit, dog. I think she's full of shit.
Went down.
yeah. Why hasn't it worked? And whose fault is it? Because you've been talking about accountability. You've been talking about high functioning, and you literally told me in my situation, because of the type of high functioning and low functioning people I'm choosing.
Yep.
Why hasn't it worked for you?
For the first few, I was low functioning and I was still in my healing journey. And so I law of attracted low functioning.
That happened all 4 or just the first?
The first, I would say like the first 2 or 3.
2,
definitely low functioning of myself.
How were you low functioning that found things that where you thought this was your match, this was your person, and then it still didn't go through because you were low functioning?
I take accountability. It was my fault because I knew all of them were not my person. And so this is why I say it's not their fault, because these men wasn't no infidelity. You know, they weren't beating on me. I attract good men, but I wasn't in the space of being ready to marry them. But I needed them to be good for me, Nick, because I needed something good to be reflected on me for my healing journey.
You said, like, literally there.
You have the right to shut the fuck up. You're going straight to jail.
Did you hear that bullshit? Did you hear that bullshit? What? 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 We gotta hear this. We gotta hear this shit one more time, B. One more time.
There's been 4 times that you almost went down the altar.
I almost went down.
Yeah. Why hasn't it worked? And whose fault is it? Because you've been talking about accountability. You've been talking about high functioning, and you literally told me in my situation, because of the type of high functioning and low functioning people I'm choosing.
Yep.
Why hasn't it worked for you?
For the first few, I was low functioning and I was still in my healing journey. And so I law of attracted low functioning.
That happened all 4 or just the first?
The first, I would say like the first 2 or 3.
Okay.
Definitely low functioning of myself.
How were you low functioning that found things that where you thought this was your match, this was your person, and then it still didn't go through because you were low functioning?
I take accountability. It was my fault because I knew all of them were not my person. And so this is why I say it's not their fault, because these men wasn't no infidelity. You know, they weren't beating on me. I attract good men, but.
So you attract good men. And these men were in love with you to the point that they asked you to be their wife. And you walked away 4 times. 4 times. And what? And what? Because what? Hold on. I got to clip this dumb face up right here. Oh, shit. Excuse me. Oh, my God. Nah, I'm not buying that, man.
But I wasn't in the space of being ready to marry them. But I needed them to be good for me, Nick, because I needed something good to be reflected on me for my healing journey.
You said, like, literally, there's been 4 times that you almost went down the altar.
I almost went down.
Why hasn't it worked? And whose fault is it? Because you've been talking about accountability. You've been talking about high functioning, and you literally told me in my situation, because of the type of high functioning and low functioning people I'm choosing.
Yep.
Why hasn't it worked for you?
For the first few, I was low functioning and I was still in my healing journey. And so I law of attracted low functioning.
That happened all 4 or just the first?
The first, I would say like the first 2 or 3. Definitely low functioning of myself.
How were you low functioning that found things that where you thought this was your match, this was your person, and then it still didn't go through because you were low functioning?
I take accountability. It was my fault because I knew all of them were not my person. And so this is why I say it's not their fault, because these men wasn't no infidelity. You know, they weren't beating on me. I attract good men, but I wasn't in the space of being ready to marry them. But I needed them to be good for me, Nick, because I needed something good to be reflected on me for my healing journey.
You said, like, literally, there's been 4 times.
I. It's a lot of fucking eyes in there. I needed them to reflect good on me. They had to make me look good and feel good about myself. They had to make it all about me. Like I don't know. Am I reaching? Mental health condition that affects how you view yourself and relate to others. Excessive need to impress others and feel them. Listen, man, whatever. I'm done. 2 hours and 8 minutes. I'm sorry, but I had to fucking go through this shit a little bit. I ain't even going through the rest, B, because it's. I'm done. Word salad, overinflated. Oh, wait. Nah, I'm not done yet. Hold on. Hold on. So you can it looked like she was trying to get donations to run for mayor or something like that in 2022. Right. So you could have supported her to rebuild LA. That's exactly what LA needs, is a black woman running it. Right. 25, 50, 100, 800. Right. You know, or what's the other shit? Yeah. It was something else. It's like motherfuckers would donate for us. Check this out. When asked about this NAACP, she's the president. Let's check this out.
People are familiar with the history of the NAACP as the nation's premier civil rights agency, but can you explain more about the mission and why this organization is still relevant given the progress that we made in the last century?
Why is it still relevant given the progress that we've made so far? That's a great question. That's a great question. Because I always say women have not, black women in particular, have not thanked black men for their freedom. What do I mean? Well, black men were the ones who were fighting and dying for freedom. 1865 to 1965, they kept record of how many people were lynched, black people. This doesn't include shooting, dragging, pulling apart with horses, whipping, and all that shit. It was just lynchings, 5,000 lynchings, right? They counted 5,000 lynchings. Out of 5,000, how many were black women? 120. So they weren't out there fighting and dying in mass the way we were, right? They went on the, like you know how I say, they went on the FBI hit list. Malcolm X was on the FBI hit list, not his wife. Fucking Fred Hampton was on the hit list, not his wife. Fucking Martin Luther King, Huey P. Newton, all of these people, all these people were on the hit list, not their wives. Black women are free today because enough black men died and spilled blood for it. Okay? And black women love to talk shit about you. They love to tell you how you ain't shit, you ain't this, you ain't that. They can fucking go to school because of you, because of your ancestors, male ancestors. They could fucking buy a house because of your male ancestors. They could start a business because of you. They could go to college because of you. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. This is just a fact. Right? Come to think about it, black men's dying might have really done more than what the NAACP did. Because people listen to what? Violence. Right? Libido dominandi, right? That's, man, Big West just ain't fucking crazy nigga on YouTube, man. So what about the progress here? What is your relevant, talk about it?
Our black community, but to serve our people in our community as a whole. Yeah, it's been an honor.
Thank you. Thank you for the work that you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, most people are familiar with the history of the NAACP as the nation's premier civil rights agency, but can you explain more about the mission and why this organization is still relevant given the progress that we made in the last century?
Well, we've got to understand that a lot of our progress, NAACP has, had our hand in it or at the forefront of it, or been the pioneer in doing and creating a lot of this change. We have been around since 1909. We are the oldest and the biggest civil rights organization, not in the
Mumbo jumbo word salad. Mumbo fucking jumbo word salad. How is this shit still relevant? How are you still relevant after all the progress we already made? How? Well, we've been around since 1909 and we're the oldest so and so and so. And how are you still relevant today? What can white people do that black people cannot today? I don't know. Pretty much nothing, but it's just a title, that I could use and just add to my list of list of shit. That's the real answer. That's the real answer. They ain't did shit.
A lot of our progress, NAACP has, had our hand in it, or
What?
at the forefront of it, or been
What? What?
a lot of our progress, NAACP has, had our hand in it, or at the forefront of it, or been the pioneer in doing and creating a lot of this change. We are been around since
she looking for some bullshit to fucking spit, man. She's looking for some bullshit to spit on this here. Look at her face.
A lot of our progress, NAACP has, had our hand in it, or at the forefront of it, or been the pioneer in doing and creating a lot of this change. We have been around since 1901.
How are you still relevant?
We are the oldest and the biggest civil rights organization, not in the nation, but in the world. Our mission is to secure, the political, the educational, the social, and the economical spaces in order for us to be able to eliminate the race-based discrimination so that everyone can have equal health care, so we all can have the right, portion of justice and representation, so that our votes can be respected and they can be heard.
You hear this bullshit? Do you hear this bullshit, bro? So your votes can be heard. You got Kamala Harris, fucking, what's that other bitch? The other bitch up there twerking and shit. You got them eating fried chicken and talking about washing collard green. They're pandering to you motherfuckers. You don't need the NAACP for that. Now, they need you for your votes. They're summoning you. NAACP ain't got shit to do with that. How the fuck is it still relevant?
And, the thing is, I always say you either got to have a seat at the table or a voice at the door. You may not be at the table, but be at the door and have a voice. And no matter how low or how loud that voice has to be, it has to be. Okay, it has to be. And so we have been, rocking and rolling, doing a lot. We had Martin Luther King, who was a member. And
yeah. Fucking 50, 60 years ago. What? Today, God damn it, today. With the progress that we've made off of the blood of a black man's back, we got where we are today. So how the fuck are you, being the president of the NAACP, whatever, how is this helping anybody? How is it even relevant? We don't hear shit from y'all. We don't hear nothing from y'all. What are you talking about?
a freedom fighter, a part of our organization. The list goes on and on and on as far as the individuals who are just game changers.
The list of history. She's not talking about history, man. The black men of history. She's not talking about that. She's talking about today. The black men did all the work. Now, why is there a woman president of this shit? To do what? To do what? What is your goal? What's your goal? Why are you still relevant?
Who are part of our organization, who were the pioneers to show us a lot of the blueprint that me, myself, and the rest of our members and our presidents and NAACP are adding.
Yeah, fuck you, man. This is stupid. Tomorrow, at some point, tomorrow in the evening, I'm going to break down the shit with Cam Newton because she said something that I don't like. She said, Reason why these bitches keep getting fucking pregnant basically is black men's fault. She said she was hoping that black men would stop. How about you hope black women stop opening their fucking legs to every goddamn body and having a baby? You don't gotta have a baby with everybody that's your fucking boyfriend. With every boyfriend you have. You ain't gotta have his baby. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? We're gonna talk about that tomorrow evening. All right, man. Oh damn, it's fucking 4:00 in the morning, man. Shit. All right, I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. Peace.